After 5 years of neglect, drainage and irrigation systems in the Mahaika Abari Rice Development Scheme, Mards, is being upgraded to the tune of millions of dollars. And according to Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa, this is just the start of a complete overhaul of the scheme. Mards is an agency of the Ministry of Agriculture that manages a total of just under 30,000 acres of lands that are currently leased by almost 50 farmers, the majority of whom are into rice cultivation, having leased their lands from the entity. Prior to 2015, farmers in the scheme leased lands for $5,000 an acre, but the coalition government immediately increased the lease to almost $8,000 an acre, a move that resulted in farmers finding themselves in trouble over the years between 2015 and 2020. Many found themselves in arrears with Mards. Many were taken to court and threatened with loss of rights to their livelihoods. Since assuming the reins of the Ministry of Agriculture, Subject Minister Zulfikar Mustafa has sought to reverse the financial and other forms of hardships imposed on farmers all across the country, including those at Mards. The first step was the reversal of the rate increases ordered by the previous administration and a massive drainage and irrigation intervention in all the agricultural areas, including Mards.
So, Mards Development Authority, I think we now have a new board of director. Over the last few months, we have expended millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in the MMA schemes and the Mards area there. We are planning to open up new lands. We want to make Mards in a better institution in terms of making it more modern. Make Mards because what we are doing now. We are looking to build a new office building, a modernized office building there that can accommodate a number of personnel. We plan to increase the staff in there to also look at to open up new lands that falls under Mards. So Mards will be playing a more important role now in the agriculture sector, especially in Region 5. We know for a number of years Mards have been only collecting rents from various entities. We are now devising better ways and means for Mards to contribute to the agriculture sector. So Mards will not only be an authority just to collect rent and remit those into the account of the agency. Mards will be an agency that will be more responsive to the needs of those stakeholders who are working and who are farming in that community. So in another year or two from now, you'll see the extension of Mards. You'll see a more modern building, you'll see a more modern facility, and Mards will play a more important role in the development of agriculture, especially in Region 5.
Speaking directly to plans for the Mards compound itself, the minister said the new administration building to be constructed will cater for the hosting of training sessions for farmers, all aimed at making them better at the business of agriculture. It is also planned that this building, that houses the administrative office of Mards currently, as well as a pesticide center, will be repurposed when the new administrative building is completed to stock not only chemicals, but the entire range of agri-inputs used by farmers. Minister Mustafa also pointed to a complete revamping of the management of Mards so as to make it more responsive to the needs of farmers in the scheme.
As a matter of fact, we are revamping the management of Mards. We can't work in the same old way. We know for a fact that the manager that was there, he normally works and collects these rents and so. So Mards wanted to be more proactive, so to speak. We wanted to be more responsive. And that is why we are looking at the personnel who knows about agriculture, personnel who will be more responsive to the needs of the farmer, and who know that what they have to do and work along with the Ministry of Agriculture. So in the next few months, farmers can expect to see better service for Mards, and Mards will be playing a more important role in terms of the development of agriculture in Region 5.
That was left to fall into disrepair. The resurfacing and expansion of the existing dry and floor at Mards is expected to cost just around 15 million Guyana dollars. In addition to the clearing of D&I canals in the scheme, government has committed to the upgrade of the main access road into the scheme, a project that is to be handled by the Ministry of Works. Internal dams are also to be upgraded with the help of the RDC and the Ministry of Agriculture. At least one 5 km asphalted concrete farm-to-market road is expected to be realized in the area, a road that will open up 15,000 acres of lands. Upon taking the reins of management at Mards, the new board found that farmers in the scheme owed approximately $66 million. But some 40 farmers have since entered into payment plans to clear off the arrears.
What we are doing, because we have seen a number of persons who would have owed Mards, And the last administration did not put any effort to recoup these finances. When we look at it and we saw the amount of money that were outstanding, we decided to work with farmers and work a payment plan. And that is working right now because farmers, they are very comfortable in paying these outstanding rates and taxes. And I think that in a couple of years' time, we might be able to recoup all the debt that Mards were people who Mards and.
Other administrative changes to the way things are done at Mards is an overhaul of the system through which lands are allocated. The Agriculture Minister said too many persons are holders of lands in the scheme but have sublet it at exorbitant cost to those now farming the lands.
We are looking about to revamp the distribution system of land within Mards. We know for a fact that a number of persons would have owned these lands and they are living, have leases for these lands and they are living overseas. There's a way that Mards have to work to recoup this land. What I am thinking about as Minister of Agriculture, we have to provide lands for farmers that are living in this country. What I have noticed also at Mards, people are renting the land, paying a very minimal rent to Mards, and they are charging the farmers a high rent to plant on these lands. And they own hundreds of acres, they have leases for hundreds of acres of these lands. So I plan to revamp the whole entire system. I'm planning to, I asked the boards already to come up with recommendations to see how we can redistribute those lands. Of course, we'll follow the legal guidelines. I have been taking advice from the Attorney General, and we have been working with him also to redistribute these lands so that genuine farmers can have these lands.
It should be noted that subletting of state lands without explicit approval to do so by the relevant agencies is an illegal act and a breach of the leases they signed. Plans are also in train to effect refurbishment of existing bonds and other facilities leased by Mards to private entities. The Mards rice mill leased by the SAG Group is also earmarked for an upgrade. Major lessees on land in the Mards scheme include the research arm of the GRDB and Air Services Limited, which operates the aerodrome there, from which farmers access aerial spraying of their rice crops across West Berbice.